We rolling?
I can't stand y'all.
You know you love us. Stop playing.
Hey, Jeremy, you got any compliments for me today?
Huh?
I just felt like being uplifted.
Yeah, man. I like that red and the blue. I like
Appreciate
that's going on.
I was gonna wear it forward, but
Yeah.
I didn't think y'all could see my eyes.
Wait, it was a comment that was made right before we started rolling. What was that comment that you said you was
I
going
don't
to
know,
tell
but
me what
put the
happened?
mic closer to your mouth.
I am Mike, and wait, what?
The microphone.
What was the compliment he
Oh.
gave you earlier?
So is the mic better?
What was
Oh
the
yeah, I was saying how you know what? Let me save that. Let's jump
For
off
later?
this pod.
Okay.
What episode is this? We don't even know, but we just out here rolling.
For sure,
Welcome
for
to
sure.
another episode of Next Level Living.
Right.
I like Mike's style. He got one sleeve rolled up and one kind of down.
Oh.
It's cool.
When did this happen?
Right. No, but it's okay though. It's okay though. We like that. That look different. It's like
Yeah.
remember back in the day, y'all probably didn't do this, but remember back in the day when cats used to have one pants leg?
What you
rolled
mean,
up?
Yeah.
bro? You remember
Oh,
LL Cool
yeah.
J on In the House?
Oh yeah,
Bro,
for
that
sure.
was the vibe.
That was
What?
the vibe. We did some dodo stuff back
That
in the
was
day.
before
Bro,
my
If somebody
time.
did the day,
But...
we'd be looking at them like,
You don't remember In the
"Who's that
House?
idiot?"
So what we talking about
So
today?
look, today, seriously, I do want to talk about something that will be slightly maybe controversial.
Mhm.
Anytime
Right.
you say slightly or maybe, I know it's going to be highly, indefinitely. So go ahead, Jay.
Right.
What do you
All
got
right.
for us?
So this, first off, I do want to share one thing, and
All right.
I want to value you. Right. I want to honor you. You're my guy.
What did you say before that?
I want to value you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Value me, Jay.
You are like the AI of the podcast.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, I don't know
I
if
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
Because basically what you're saying, and I'm more humble than I can't accept that because I would like to say it's more like a big three. But what you're trying to tell me is that I basically carry y'all because AI took bums to the finals,
Oh.
but y'all
Oh,
are not
yeah.
that to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are not
Oh,
Aaron
wait.
McKee.
Is that
and
what you thought I was talking about?
Okay,
were
that's
gonna
not
be Eric
what I think
Snow.
he's talking about.
Definitely. If he's calling
Definitely
me
not.
Allen Iverson,
Definitely
it only
not.
means that, Mike, we are not as great as you, but we're glad that you carried us
Did you
across.
think is that what
And-
you got?
and
when I
no,
went
no,
to-
no,
No,
no.
that,
But
I
you
want
know
to let y'all
what?
know I'm not receiving
He
that.
gave
I
himself
will
his
not
own
be AI for
compliment.
y'all. I will not be AI. I will be LeBron, and we will be a team. I will get everybody involved. And together, regardless if they remember
So
y'all
let me
names
just say
or
something.
not,
If
I
you
will
were,
take y'all with
if,
me.
if you were
wherever I
LeBron,
go.
if you were LeBron and we were in Miami, I'd beat D Wade. I'm just going to just say that real quick.
Ooh, so you Bosch, long neck
wow.
Lucy.
So what can you explain what you actually meant by that comment?
What you mean AI? I told you.
Right, but
Oh,
Allen,
and thank you, bro.
No, Allen, yeah.
'Cause I
Allen
appreciate
Iverson, but I didn't necessarily mean. My man thought it was because he carried the podcast. I didn't necessarily mean because you carried the podcast.
I mean, I'm grateful though,
I was more so calling you AI because of the crossover.
and that's how you got to the finals.
Right, but
Gotcha.
see, sometimes we'll be going one angle in the podcast, and then
right.
drastically you'll cross over to somewhere else.
Completely
Wait.
different way.
Yeah,
Wait,
and I
that's-
want to stay focused.
Oh, so that's what you were saying the first
Yeah,
time?
I want to. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So I was in the finals, and you still back in preseason. You talking about the
No,
crossover?
you still got game though.
but
You made it to the league. Just
Yes.
crossover. Just we gonna stay focused because this topic today can be vast. So it's still affirmation. It's still affirmation. You know what I'm saying? I could call you Patrick Beverly.
First
Yeah,
of
I
all,
wouldn't do that.
What you won't do? First of all, what you won't do?
Seriously though,
You already called me Forrest Whitaker on a podcast,
You know
bro.
what?
I
You
said
have
you
no
don't.
more
I
room.
said you
Alright.
don't look like Forrest Whitaker,
Bro, you have
You're
no
never
more
gonna leave
room
that
to
down.
call me any. I don't want to be associated with
Forrest
anybody
Whitaker
else.
is very handsome.
And this is why I don't trust people.
So
No. This is why I don't trust people. He's an
Today,
amazing actor.
on
but
the
we not
next
gonna
level
keep
of
it.
your
Jay-Z
podcast.
said I get some handsome checks. You know what I'm saying?
Jay-Z
So-
said ain't no such thing as an unattractive billionaire.
right,
I agree.
right,
But for right now,
right.
don't call me Forrest
Absolutely.
because of my account.
This is what I want to talk about, right? This is what I want to talk about. Faith versus works.
All right.
You got to decide. You
Wait,
got to pick a
versus?
side.
Not together?
No. What's more important? What's more important? I'm gonna open it up to you first, Chris. Right? What's more important? Is it more important to have faith, or is it more important to have works?
That's a
Let's
trick
talk
question.
about it. It's not a trick question.
It
and before
has to
you
be.
go
Question.
into faith without works, like if you had to choose a side, which one is more important?
I'm not choosing a side. They both go together. I'm not choosing a side.
That's not fair. But explain yourself.
Because you can have faith and then, of course, not have the works. And then faith doesn't mean anything. you can have, well, actually, that's not true.
Ooh,
Because there are some
Nah.
situations where you have to have faith because there's nothing else you can do but have faith. Like we have faith that there is God. Like we have the Lord, but we can't say, oh, let me go work to like make sure that I can show you what he looks like, show you what God looks like. That's not, it's not physically really possible. You can go through the word and say, this is what the description that I have. This is the depiction that I get. But you have faith that he is still showing up for you in your life every single day.
So talk about works.
So work is self-explanatory. You got to work. You have faith. You have a dream. You have a vision. You have a goal. You got to work to attain that. So they coexist. They have to coexist. I don't see one existing without the other if you're a spiritual person. Okay, I'm passing the time. I'm just doing stuff to say I'm busy. No, you have to have an intention behind it.
So if we start with that idea, I guess you saying of faith, first comes faith, then comes the belief it's possible.
Yes.
Then you put that work in.
Yes.
But then it's like you got to come back to faith. You know why? Because it never works out how you plan.
Oh, no.
It never works out. Oh, no.
No.
Yo,
You said, oh, no.
I felt it too, but that was so strong. I was like, I'm not gonna be the distraction.
Yeah. No. Thank you, AI.
Thank you, Crystal.
Bench. So I'll say
he
this.
still gave me a shout out.
Yeah, I know. You already know. So here's the thing. I think, all right, so for those of you listening, right, I think this is a good takeaway. You start with the faith. It's like, yo, I'm tapped in. I got faith. It's going to work out. This the vision God's giving me, or this the vision I believe for myself. Maybe you vision board that thing. I ain't going to lie. I have mixed feelings about vision boards. Some people, it's just a want desire board, and it's not a vision board.
Yeah.
People be putting mansions and Bugattis and all that stuff, and I'm just like, all right, is this really a vision board, or is this just a wish list board?
Right.
Because if it's a vision board, like how does this like equate to what your life is supposed to accomplish and experience? But let's just say that is the vision board. Let's just say that is a part of my vision, that I will have all these amazing things. Okay, great. So first comes the faith, then you got to put that work in. But I ain't never met somebody where I was like, man, it worked out just how I expected. It's always going to be some challenges.
No.
And it's like, that's when you got to go back to that faith. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
'Cause
keep working keep working too.
Bruh, I realized when we was going to have our curriculum, I was like, yo, we going to have curriculums in schools. I had faith, then we put that work in.
Okay, I got a question for you, Jay.
Okay.
So when you said you go back to that faith, so when you go back to that faith, did your vision change as stuff started shifting? Or what were you continually working to when stuff was switching? When it looked like what you were asking for? Because I don't think you just woke up one day and was like, oh yeah, I want to do trucks. As a matter of fact, I think on a prior episode, you talked about like, I ain't in trucks because I love trucks. You know what I'm saying? But how did, when life started changing, how did you either keep your vision, or how did you alter it, or your faith toward what it is that you originally wanted when things in your life started shifting? Because you're not going toward the same goal when life happens and takes you a different direction. So where does your faith go? Is your faith thinking that it's all going to work out? Or is it saying that it's all going to come back to what it is that you really want? Do you let go of what you wanted? Or do you let go of what you wanted? Or do you increase your faith to tell God like, no, this is going to work itself back out to what I originally had?
I think it depends on the person. I think some people go into it and they tell themselves like, yo, I'm about to tap all the way in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think some people go in and say, hey, I am going to believe in what I can do and what I can accomplish. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be any challenges.
Yeah.
But then you got some people that's like, yo, I'm going to do this and I know it's going to be challenging. So I think it really just depends. But I think first comes the faith. Then you put that work in. And when things don't work out, it's like that faith now got to kick back in to know I got to keep working.
Got you.
So it almost might be almost like a double dust, like a jump rope type of thing. You got to have a
not
mixture.
how it works out. Faith is that it works out.
But then your faith
like
evolves over time.
And that's what I was wondering.
Yes.
So what does it evolve to? Does it evolve to a specific or just to a certain?
No, it evolves so that you can still stay on track with what it is that you want to do, but it's just you might not get it the same way you thought you were going to get it. But instead, your mind has to now, with faith, go to a different place and trust, okay, it's all going to work out the way that it needs to work out. We have an evolved approach to it. We don't have the same approach because we learn from our mistakes. We don't keep repeating the same mistakes.
All right.
So now it's an evolution of thought at that point, and an evolution of direction. Okay. So yeah.
And I think that's probably what some of the challenges are at times, is maybe people don't weigh all the costs. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they just kind of like, this gonna work out. And then when it doesn't work out and they've been putting that work in, they lose faith.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You start off with faith. You believe, hey, this is possible. You put that work in. And when it don't work out, now you question your faith. And I feel like that's where the challenge is. And it's okay to question, but when you quit, that's what I have an issue with.
Right. But then that's working from your emotional brain and not your tactical brain. Because an emotion is when you get shut down, you immediately shut yourself off. Whereas a tactical brain will be like, okay, that didn't work. Let me try something else. So you have to decipher too, when you're doing business, which brain you're operating from. And so more than likely, it's smart to start working from a tactical brain when things like that happen, if you do have a goal that you need to accomplish.
And I think that's why I challenge people, especially on the gram, to talk about the struggles you've gone through, because it can encourage other people.
One of my homeboys hit me up the other day and it blew my mind. But he was talking about me on the podcast and he was like, Mike, I really believe that your vulnerability is your superpower. That helped me, bro.
Not your beard.
Hey. It's a cape, but it don't make me fly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But
come on with it. Yeah, but go ahead.
But no, he said your vulnerability is your superpower. And it hit me because a lot of times I feel like it's necessary for me to be vulnerable on a podcast, but I don't say it from a place of strength. I say it so that I can have weakness in common with somebody else who don't feel strong.
Well, God's word says that his strength is made perfect in your weakness.
And that's the reason why I have faith that my vulnerability is going to lead to something amazing through God.
Yeah.
It's because I know that God can use that, but I don't feel like it's something that I have as a strength or as a weapon. You know, like me being vulnerable. I just feel like it's something that is not as much about me that I do. So to hear somebody that I care about tell me that, bro, I believe your vulnerability is your superpower, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I need to keep being transparent. I need to keep being 100 with everybody because we all have more weakness in common than strength. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's like we all have those mental thoughts or whatever. And that's the reason why when you said working through the lack of faith or not having that faith, still working through it, still basically shows God that I'm rocking with you regardless of the situation that you allow or what the devil decides to inflict me on. You know what I'm saying?
So, So I think when we look at, faith versus works, I think that there are times when one has to be more dominant than others. You know what I'm saying? So I think that first step, you right, Chris, it's like, okay, I got faith it's going to work out. I believe I got vision. And it's like, okay, now I got to put the work in. And then when things don't work out and challenges come, it's like, that's when faith has to kick back in. Faith got to show up. Like, okay, let me drive the ship. You jump in the back seat. Like, let me drive the car now. You know what I'm saying? And then there are times work has to kick back in. Let me give y'all a tangible example. So when me and Tracy, when we quit our jobs, still pissed about that. It was a blessing, right? But it was really, I was going to quit. She told me, talking about, I'm going to quit too. I'm like, that ain't God will. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was not the vision he gave me.
She said,
you know what I'm saying? I saw myself traveling. You stay here, take care of Jewel. She's like, Negro, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to do it together. So big faith, right? Tracy. She had big faith. Yeah. But then we had put work in. Yeah. So I'm showing up. I'm doing the best I can. I'm calling schools. I'm emailing. I'm getting websites together. And then we not getting no gigs. And faith got to kick back in. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, you can do it. You are going to figure this thing out. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be living check to check, month to month. Like, you're not going to be a month out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I had to keep putting that work in. So I just feel like it's almost like double judge. Like when we built our house, you know what I'm saying? We had faith in it, but then we still had to make sure the credit was right. We still had to make sure we made a certain type of income. You know what I'm saying? But then when we had issues with and then we found a house, but then the builder in the community, the VP was like, we need y'all to put down the extra $15,000. We'll feel more comfortable. I was thinking like, bro, what is that? What you trying to say? Because we a young black couple, like I was not happy, but I was willing to do it. Tracy was like, bump that. You don't feel comfortable? We don't feel comfortable. Cancel the contract. I was like, boo, that's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? Let's just send the bread. She's like, no, bump that. And so that hurt. And so it's just like, then our faith had to kick back in.
Y'all did cancel the contract?
Yeah, we canceled that sucker.
Wow.
Yeah, we canceled it. But but you know what I'm saying? It was another level that God had for us.
This wasn't the house you canceled?
No, this wasn't the house.
Oh, okay,
it was like a
okay.
community of a bunch of nice, traditional, nice sized houses all together. It wasn't.
So is Tracy more faith-based Like because
Tracy's more gangster based.
Because I'm about to say, bro,
She's
because
more
bro, she is like certain in
West
tough decisions. She's
Listen.
like, you don't feel right, we don't do it. Even if no matter how high the level is or how low it is, she is very certain when she makes a decision and
Yeah.
she's okay with it.
It's almost like it's a certain worth or moral code she lives by.
Her discernment, she's blessed with a very strong discernment.
Oh, facts.
Yes.
Facts. It's been 3 people. Sidebar. So I'm an AI real quick.
No, but this is still faith and work.
Yeah.
So keep
But
going.
we hired 3 people in the past maybe 4 years, and each one of them she was just like, that ain't it. And I was like, trust me, boo. Trust me. You ain't got no faith. 3 months later, dodo. You feel me? And so each time, now I don't make no decisions. If my girl ain't feeling it, I'm like, okay, you see something that I don't see.
Yeah.
And so you say, man, where did Tracy get this faith from? It's like I don't know what it is, bro. But when we quit our job, that's not normal.
No.
Like my girl, everybody talk about the 5 love languages, physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of kindness and gifts and stuff like that. It's another one I feel like my
Quality
girl
time.
got. Not quality time is cool,
yeah.
but that one that's not spoken of, it's
Security.
It's security.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Yeah.
you, bruh. So for her to be like, I'm gonna leave the job I'm with, she worked for the government.
Oh, true.
Great salary, healthcare benefits, 401k.
Yeah.
To leave that took big faith.
For her, that's
Bruh.
incredible.
For us looking for our dream home, we've been in Atlanta,
God
bless
bless
you.
you.
Thank
For
you.
6 hours, that's the cutest sneeze I've ever heard.
Anyway,
Bro,
let's go.
ever.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
You
Facts.
know
I was
what I'm
gonna
saying?
cross. You saw.
Oh, for sure.
see.
For
Pass
sure.
me the rock.
I
AIs.
sneeze half the time, it come out both ends. Anyway,
What,
stay focused.
what just happened?
You ain't never,
Oh, that's
you ain't
disgusting.
never snorted before?
That's disgusting. Come on.
What'd you just call it?
Sharded?
Snort.
What?
Oh, my bad.
Okay. All right, stay focused.
You know what?
Stay
At
focused,
this
y'all.
point,
I took it to another level.
At this point, let AI
We'll
carry
talk
y'all real
about
quick,
that.
y'all. It's faith versus works.
Right,
we gotta
right.
stay. I gotta cross y'all back over to
Yeah, I
the
mean,
point.
you gotta
go.
have faith
I like that.
that both ends are not going to work at the same time.
So look, when we found,
He missed
that's
it.
good. I caught it, but I'm gonna keep us focused.
I didn't want
That
to.
was good. So peep
Okay.
game. So when we found the house,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But then she canceled that contract. Like that was a bold move.
bro, that's
You know what I'm
huge.
saying? But then the faith had to kick back in. Something else was going to work out. Then we found the builder that was building this and a few other modern homes. And it's like, okay, now we got to put that work in. But then it slowed down and we had some challenges there. And we got to a point where we started thinking we was going to do the house. And it's like faith had to kick back in. So I think I'm learning that throughout life, it's got to be a journey of faith and works. Whether it's somebody in their marriage, in their relationship, like, yeah, you got to have that faith. Things are going to work out. But you also need to wash some dishes. You also need to not have your phone locked. You also need to be cautious of who you messaging on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? You also need to, like, there are extra things that you can be doing to enhance that relationship.
You said
know
not
what
have
I'm
your
saying?
phone locked?
Yeah, you know how folks be having passcodes?
Oh, you mean like no privacy?
Yeah,
Oh,
for your spouse.
okay.
I got one of my I had to talk to one of my homeboys. One of my
So
homeboys.
I shouldn't have a lock on my phone.
No, I'm saying for your spouse.
Okay, so once I get married at the altar,
No, you can have a lock, but I'm saying, but she should be able to go into your phone.
like
At least that's what we
before
do
the
at Anderson
bachelor party
home.
or after, like
He's-
before, like when we lock it down or when I propose.
I'm gonna let you
Once
use
you
your
commit,
discernment.
No,
on
no, no,
that.
no, no. I want to hear your faith or my works. Which
Well,
one are you
I've
talking
never-
about? Should
well,
I
I've
believe that she gonna keep my privacy, or should I know that she gonna work toward finding the truth?
Well, I think that you're gonna work towards being the type of man where if she grab your phone at any moment, you ain't gotta worry about nothing.
I ain't tripping
Right.
because what's for her is for her. So whatever.
And it ain't for nobody else.
It ain't for nobody else.
Praise
So
God.
then you should
So-
be good giving a phone once you start dating.
That's it.
Once you commit in your heart.
You said what?
You should be okay giving a phone once you commit in your heart.
I don't have a problem with you taking my phone.
Right.
I have a problem with what you see. No, wait.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm
Right,
just
right,
saying
right,
that
right.
I'm very friendly, and I feel like sometimes it comes off as flirty.
Maybe it is flirty.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'll be flirting with people that I don't like then. Because I'm very
Well, that's different. Yeah, that's
it's different to me, but it don't mean it's the same thing. I keep the same energy with everybody. It's just when somebody looks at somebody as somebody that I could be attracted to, then they look at those same actions as inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But I give the same energy to the person that I'm not attracted to
Right.
because of my energy.
Yeah.
So I have to learn how to cut back in certain stages, but
Come on, AI.
I don't necessarily, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
We've been starting
Hello?
giving relationship advice.
Hello?
Talk to him.
So faith versus works, guys.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying
So
somebody better
faith-
save him. Somebody better save him.
All right, cool. I'm gonna call you right back. I'm doing a podcast.
I don't need to
He
go
told me
in.
back
Oh,
to
you
that
said
3-6
you said
back
you
in the
see
day.
it all? Okay. She just told me to tell y'all hello.
So go
Tell him
ahead.
I said what it do.
All right.
My guy. So look.
That's my guy, bro. Go ahead, Jay. Go.
So
go.
look. So I guess I wanted you all to make a decision, right, as to which one you deem more important. You know what I'm saying? Like faith or works. Like, because I feel like when it comes to, you know, what we do day to day, you need to have a mixture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I guess here's my beef. You got a whole bunch of folk who love God, who got buku faith, and they don't put no work in.
Mm-hmm.
And that about disgusts me. And God be like, bro, why you tripping? That ain't your life. And I'm like, you bet. Let me just keep it moving.
And
But I'm like, you got all that faith, but you ain't putting no doggone work in.
bro, and I have a similar frustration with people who go so hard and you can't tell them nothing about their vision because they ain't got no faith. So for me, my frustration comes from the person that has everything planned out in their life and don't worry about it. I don't need no extra assistance, or I don't need to trust somebody else to do because I'm already gonna get it done.
I'm about to say something that's going to get me canceled.
And it come, go.
The faith community finna cancel me.
Bro, it's all good.
Hey, Q, it's a whole bunch of atheists, bro, who don't believe in God, who don't know God, who don't love God, and they put their work in, and they are here dominating their space.
Bro, it's not hard to be successful with work, but it's hard to.
So then your vote is work then.
It's not because
Your vote is work then.
I'm talking about
Chris,
from
he
an
can't have it both ways.
I'm saying from an outside perspective.
You just said it's not hard to be successful without faith.
Bro, it's not. Bro, people that the devil's successful, most people are lost. The devil is successful.
Dang, most people.
Bro, yes.
A lot of people, but
You think
no,
most of,
I'm saying, okay, so stay there. Stay
okay,
there.
we ain't even gotta go spiritual. You think most of the world is on the right track, or is most people starving?
I feel like we all got challenges. But you don't
Just
so
look at the
you mean-
homelessness, not even spiritual.
Right,
Most people
right.
hungry ain't got food.
Right.
But there's enough wealth in the world to spread it evenly for everybody to be good.
Right.
It's not everybody's thinking about themselves.
Right.
So what I'm saying about works is when you're trying to go so hard to make sure that everything comes true for you, and you don't leave space for something that a higher power might have in store, or just life.
So speak to that fact. So there are atheists and people who don't have faith in God because they don't think there's a God. They like, I wake up every day and I put that work in.
Yeah, and they're successful to me or to you because we're from the outside in. But then guess what? Those people that we look at who are super successful, we've been wanting their life and they committing suicide. Or you got the people that's out there in life who look like they got it all and they going through all these major depression, all these issues on TV. And it's like, yeah, you got everything I thought you needed, but there's something inside of you that you don't have.
It's empty.
That's killing you.
Yeah, they have no spirituality.
And that's when I say, yo, that faith thing is crazy. If you don't have, faith allows you to put pressure on God. Like if we gonna keep it a G, faith allows you to give a larger responsibility to something that you can't control. So when I say I got faith, like I said, when you don't have control of a situation, it either can give you peace or it can make you overwhelmed. So what happens for me is that when I trust that God is going to do what I can't do, it gives me a peace because I know that I needed it in the first place.
Right.
But if you so set on your work, yes, you can convince everybody else that you good except you. And so, yes, we can see externally that those atheists or people that have done it themselves are good. Like they've convinced me. But what about them? And so for myself, it's hard for me to say that one or the other because, like Crystal said, I do need both.
Okay, so Chris, what would you say to the people then who they just put all their trust and all their faith in God and they be praying? But they not on their work side.
Oh, they pissed me off too.
then they're not following what they're supposed to do. They're not completely putting the faith in God, if that's the case. Because if you're putting your faith in God, you're following his word. And if you're following his word, then you would be working. You wouldn't be just praying. So I would say that
that's a bar.
you gotta step your game up a little bit.
That's a bar.
So I feel
I like when you said what comes first. That made me feel better than making me choose one or the other. Because when you said about going first, I didn't have to eliminate one, which when I feel both is necessary, but it did make me feel like I have to start believing that God is going to do what he said he's going to do, or believing that this can come to pass. But I also do got to work, because if I walk recklessly, I'm AI. I'm AI in a situation. I'm just crossing over to the next path that I feel like I should go to, and I'm not staying on target based off of the belief that this conversation can go somewhere or that my life can go somewhere. I'm just crossing over my whole life.
So, and it's easy to have people choose, either or.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think there are times when I'm leaning heavier on some things. Because if I'm working toward something and I'm doing the best I can, and nothing else I can do, ain't no works then. Now it's just like, okay, God, I need you to bless my efforts. Like I need you to touch this thing. But then there are some times that I'm like, bless it, bless it, bless it. He be like, you bless it. Get your butt up. Put your work in. You know what I'm saying? Send some emails. Create a proposal. Apply for the position. He's like, stop asking me to do what you can do.
Right.
Let me be God and do what only I can do.
Right.
But you need to wake up and do every single day what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So folks be expecting like, I got faith. He gonna just turn this airspace into a table. God, like, I don't do that. I gave you trees. You cut the trees down, you trim the trees, you make the table. I'm gonna give you what you need to make it, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta first see it and believe it. And I feel like that's where a lot of people go wrong, is they might have a whole bunch of faith, but they ain't really putting that work in. Or they might be putting all that work in, but they ain't really got the faith that it's gonna come together. Or they relying fully on their strength.
Right.
And that's why I'm quick to tell people like, man, it ain't just me. It's a balance. Like, I believe in what I can do only because I know what God can do. I ain't really got confidence. I got Godfidence. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference there. I be really leaning heavy like, hey, God, I need you. I'm heavy on the God. Like, I need you to go ahead and bless my efforts. But I'm going to show you, though, I'm putting that work in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I got faith you're going to bless it. But I'm going to put that work in and I'm going to handle my business. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say you got to pray as if it all depends on you. You know what I'm saying? You got to pray as if it all depends on God, but you got to work as if it all depends on you. And that's the balance I try to have. I like that. Yep. What you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, think that's good.
Yeah,
also
I'm right back to where you were saying with both, even though I wanted y'all to choose one.
Right. So that means that we got a winner then.
You eventually see the light. You eventually see it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it from the jump. I just felt like it's so many people. I feel like it's so many people that lean heavy on the faith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's cool, but they not putting that work in. Like, they praying like, God bless me with this. You ain't doing nothing to put yourself in that position.
Right.
Yeah.
And people are not also taking the time to listen. They're not taking the time to just have that space. Okay, you praying, but are you getting up and then going about your day and compiling your day with a bunch of busy stuff? Or are you actually taking the time to say, okay, I'm waiting for the feedback. I'm waiting to see what it is that I need to do so that I can be in alignment with what I need to do from you. Like, they're not doing that. A lot of people don't take time to either just, again, be in silence, be in quiet so that they can hear what the solution is. They just keep working and keep going and keep going. And then they're like, well, why you didn't answer me? Well, I tried to answer you, but you was busy. So it's like, you got to take the time to really give yourself time to hear the feedback or think through the feedback.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think it's two different types of wrong, and I think people that go all hard and work with no faith leads you to a different path that it's just like, I feel bad for you. And then there's people that do go all in faith and no works, and I'm just like, you're a weirdo. like it's two different types of wrong. Right. Growing up in the church, bro, I know personally people that are so faith and don't move, and it's just like, yeah, the landlord is about to kick us out next month, but I know God is going to do something. I'm like, not if you don't get out there and work, he ain't.
Right.
If you don't get out there and find no job, bro, I promise you're gonna be homeless in 31 days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like just spend the rest of these 30 days enjoying this heat, crank it up to the max. Like, turn everything up because it's gonna get real cold soon. Like you sound crazy. And then on the flip end, where's the focus of the person that works so hard to show everybody else that their life is good, but inside they only know that they missing something? So yes, if we're arguing from an external point, I think the person who works could win the argument because they can convince everybody else that they're good except them. But I know how it feels to look successful from everybody else's point of view and feel empty because of what I'm lacking.
So here's a controversial thought, right? If you had to lean on one and I could only choose one, ooh, this is gonna be controversial. Oh, the Saints gonna be hot.
It's all good. Saints will be all right.
I'll choose works. You know why? Because you can pray, and hope, and wish, and believe God gonna bless it. But you got to go out there and do something.
For sure. But
then there are people that's like, well, God, what you mean? And they put that work in and they handle their business. Yeah, they might not feel fulfillment. They might not have peace. They might not have joy, but they might be accomplishing some things. And so both of them you can catch an L with.
For sure.
But as I look at the folks I know that's dominating and what I really try to do, it's a mixture of both. You either going to have a faith in God or a belief that things are gonna work out,
Yeah.
and you put that work in. And I feel like that formula, there might be some seasons where it's 60-40. It might be some seasons where it's 70-30, depending on where you gotta be. But I think that if you have both of those simultaneously, or you leaning heavier on one or the other, that's how you can really get there. Because I look at everything I've ever done and accomplished, it came from me working my butt off.
Yeah.
But also having faith, also believing I could have it, also believing I deserved it, also believing I was worthy, but then I had to put that work in. And I oftentimes feel like the work that we put in is the very thing that makes us worthy of it. It's the very thing that makes us deserving of it. It's the very thing that makes it possible for us to have it. So I can hope and wish and pray for specific things, but because I put that work in, it's like, that's what qualifies me. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes me ready to receive that thing that I have faith I could have, because I actually put that work in to attain it.
So faith is having a blessing outside of the door, but the door is locked. Working is toiling to turn the key.
Or kicking the door down.
Oh, okay. You
You feel
aggressive.
me? Or breaking the glass.
Well, I was just
Because it's a glass door. So that's why I said that.
But
But he
you're
was trying to
aggressive.
preserve.
I was going to preserve everything.
Yeah.
And
He
when
was
you
just
do
gonna
it,
open the door.
sometimes God told Moses to speak to the rock, but sometimes Moses had a little Jeremy in him, and he wanted to strike that thing. You know, like it
And
just got real
punished for that.
aggressive.
And he got punished for that.
He did, but water still came from it too.
Right.
So sometimes God can still reward your effort, and it still not be the way that He intended. That's exactly what I mean in terms of works.
And sometimes to get those things, it's not pretty. I mean, it's not easy. There are times when you gotta just speak to the rock, but he struck the rock. You know what I'm
because he
saying?
didn't trust, he didn't have faith that what God told him to do was
Right.
exactly the way it happened.
Right. But
He was
then
like, he's like, I could talk to it,
Right.
but
he
this-
was frustrated.
This
right.
rock gonna respect
I mean,
me.
that was ugly, right? But then there was Calvary. The cross was painful.
right.
That was brutal.
Right.
So sometimes you got to be willing to kick the door down. If you're blessing,
Calvary wasn't kicking.
huh?
Calvary was not kicking.
What you mean?
Calvary was faith. He said God. He said, my
Right,
God.
but he still had to
didn't
get up
hear
on the
his
cross, though.
Father's voice.
Yeah, but he still had to get up on that cross.
But he didn't get down. He had the power to get down. And
Right.
when he couldn't feel his Father's voice,
Right.
he stayed there. That's faith.
Right, but the pain of the suffering,
Right.
the scars, the whips,
The weight of the
beating,
world.
all of that was also the works. He still had to also get up there, and his faith kept him there.
Right.
Can we agree to that?
I can't agree to that.
His faith kept him there.
For sure.
But he still had to let them drive the nails
Yes.
through here.
Yes,
Like
yes,
that
yes.
wasn't no joke.
Yes.
And
So that's together then.
that's together.
Okay, got you.
But it's the faith that, you know what I'm saying, if I give my life, salvation can be possible.
Yeah.
But now I got to put that work in. When I'm in the garden, it gets into me praying, they finna come and capture
Faith,
me.
yeah.
I got to let them drive it through here. I got to let them put me up here on the cross. People are laughing, spitting at me, you know what I'm saying, talking, you know what I'm saying, crazy. You know what I'm saying? But my faith is I'm going to stay up here.
True,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And believing that in 3 days I'm going to rise again. You feel me?
Or knowing that God was going to get the glory even if he didn't wake up. That was the power and salvation for me, is that Jesus had so much man in him that he did not know the outcome at that point. And so
Right.
by him calling out to God and not hearing God's voice back,
Right.
which he had always been connected to, that's when his
Oh, for
strength.
sure.
That's what's crazy
That's
to
when
me.
his faith had to kick
That's
in.
the faith for me. But
Right,
they
to
do
keep
need
him
both.
up there. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me wrap this up, right? That's a great point.
Yeah.
But if you give the analogy, you're blessed on the other side of the wall, but you got to go and open the door.
Yeah.
And where people go wrong is they try to open the door, Crystal, and the door is locked. And then they're like, well, I'm going to look for a key. But then you got the type of person that's like, yo, I'm kicking the door down.
Yeah.
You got the type of person that's like, yo, I'm not going to be denied. You got the type of person that's like, yo, I'm going to call the locksmith. I can't figure this out on my own. I'm gonna get a mentor. I'm gonna get a coach. I'm gonna get somebody that's been there and done that, that's gonna help me figure this thing out. But I got faith. What's on the other side of this door is necessary for me. And I need to get it and I need to receive it. And I'm willing to do whatever, you know, so I gotta do to get it. So that's what we really want all of our listeners to realize, and our viewers, right? Like that blessing, those things that God has in store for you, it's on the other side of that door. But you got to be willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And everybody's process is going to be different. Some people's process is going to be quick. Some it's going to be smooth. Some it's going to be challenging. For some people, it might take you 3 years. For others, it might take 3 months. But just knowing that on the other side, what you do to get through that door is what's necessary. And so I think we got to have, like you said, Crystal, we start with that faith. We put that faith in, but at the same time, we have to have that work, and we got to do those things simultaneously to get to where we're supposed to be.
Yeah. Agreed.
So this was a trick question, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. We chose both.
Just like that. We'll see y'all in a minute. Hey, what's up, y'all? Jeremy here with the Next Level Living podcast. Also, the founder of the Next Level Living clothing company. Check this out, y'all. Don't just rock with the podcast. You got to get the merch. You are part of our family. You are part of our community. Matter of fact, we're going to do something special for you, right? We want you to visit shopnextlevel.co, shopnextlevel.co, and you automatically will get 20% off of the merch. Just put podcast there. Put podcast there, right? And you'll get a 20% off all of our merch. Shopnextlevel.co. I'll see y'all at the top. Let's get it.
I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level.